Mishkal Mosque, a 16th century laterite and timber building in Calicut, is very well known for its exemplary building tectonics, qualities of light and shade, and its material composition considering its unique position in India, and is a fine example of the mixing of cultural and religion. The masjid is nearly 700 years old and has a splendid facade of ancient glory. It is located in Kuttichira, a part of the Tekkipuram region in Calicut, in the northern part of Kuttichira Pond, about half a kilometer away from the Kozhikode beach. The mosque lie on the same axis lining the Kuttichira tank for easy accessibility of the public. Mishkal Mosque has a history of more than 650 years. It is named after Nakuda Mishkal, an Arab trader who built the structure. Made of timber, the Mishkal Mosque was initially 5-storied, but it was damaged and arson during an attack by the Portuguese in 1510. The top floors of the mosque still display some of the damage. It was reconstructed after the fire in 1510 and now has 4 stories, and the mosque stands today as a prime example of communal harmony. 4. It was a Samurin, a Hindu king who avenged his Muslim subjects by repairing the mosque by providing wood for restoration from a destroyed fort at Chalyam, a village in Kozhikode. This mosque was designed by Tachins, the skilled craftsmen in traditional architectural style and Vastuvidya like the temples and other buildings of that period. Composed of tiered timber structure set atop a coast laterite stone masonry at the ground floor, which is rendered with mud lime plaster, Mishkal Mosque is one of the oldest and largest of Kerala-style mosques. The rooftop and the surrounding timber columns, which are attached on the top of the building, are a classical example of Kerala's ancient architecture. The architectural style is a combination of various features born of its local tropical climate and context. Supported principally by the masonry walls that extended beyond the ground floor, the slender columns at the veranda serve to tie down the roof more than transfer any vertical loads to the ground. The 3rd and 4th levels of the building are underused or even unused spaces in the building. They do, however, contribute to the mosque's monumental scale. A continuous gallery protects the principal worshipping spaces of the building, forming a solid facade punctuated only by the modest doorways which are guarded by solid teak wood panels. There is a single mihrab, a niche on the wall of a mosque that indicates the Qibla, either the direction of Mecca, in the middle of the Qibla wall, created in the form of a deep semicircular niche with semicircular arches. The mihrab was a wide border in the form of 2 pilasters decorated with mouldings. They support an arch with foliations jutting out of the frame at the sides and at the crown. The elegantly carved wooden mimbar pulpit to the north of the mihrab is an important structural element and bears a number of Arabic inscriptions. An ablution tank was made into connection to the tradition of washing before prayers, which is a cultural and religious tradition that the Maplas shared with the Hindu locals. The entire structure is supported on 24 solid pillars of carved wood, and there are 47 doors which are open to receive devotees, 300 of whom can pray on the ground floor alone. Unlike other mosques, the Mishkal Mosque does not have cupolas and minarets. The intricate carving on the walls and ceilings and the Gopuram-style arches at the entrance and the pond near the mosque show how a noticeable resemblance to traditional temple architecture. The transition from outside to inside of the building is immediately palpable, with an almost binding transition from white light to pitch darkness as one's eyes adjust to the contrasting conditions. The building is organized as a sequence of vertical rooms that increase in height as one ascends the building through a series of stairs that separates one floor from another. Qualities of light, shade, and thermal comfort are also stratified vertically. The roof framing on the 4th level at the hip roof is perhaps the most unique feature of the building's timber framing. The roof framing at the hip roof bears on a single timber drum which holds the rafters in place. The roof structure form has no links to the Arab traditions and is an adaptation of the regional form. All the walls of the mosque except for the ground floor are made of wood. The area inside the mosque is well ventilated with mihrab-style doors. During the renovation, a wooden mimbar or a pulpit with intricate mortars was added to the structure. Square and rectangular tanks a few yards away from the famous Kutichira pond are attached to the mosque complex. The mosque, where a number of students, scholars, historians, and research students, including foreigners, are visiting, was also a place for stay and study to the Muslim scholars in ancient times. The settlement of Kutichira reveals the lifestyle, religion, and ideals of the Kerala Muslims, and the Mishkal Mosque is a fine example of the richness of its Muslim architecture. From every corner of the mosque, we can see how civilized and cultural elements of community are manifested in its architectural skills. The mosque depicts the cultural and historical presence of the Kerala Muslims.